Next up is Nick April.
Look to your neighbor to the right. Now, turn to your neighbor to the left. Most of these people are part of your community. What memories came to you as you saw their faces? What role do they play in your community? In my community, you have so many close interactions with people that you really get to know them. You not only know them as a neighbor, but as a friend too. Let me give you a little sense of where I live. You know how, if you ever need to know something, people might say, "Oh, there's an app for that." Well, if you ever need to know something, I would tell you I have a neighbor for that. For example, if you ever need to learn how to build a rocket, talk to John. If you ever need to learn how to build a blimp, talk to Dan. If you ever want to learn how to drive a race car, talk to Rini. If you ever want to learn how to be a beekeeper, talk to my mom. If you ever want to learn how to be a mime, talk to Chris. In my community, you can't drive up to your house. There are parking lots with walkways and a community mailroom, causing you to constantly walk past your neighbors. But this creates a very personal atmosphere in which you actually see your neighbors every single day. We have a community building with a large kitchen, dining room, library, and kids room. There's also an exercise room, a sauna, and a gaming room. Now that I've given you a little sense of what my community looks like, let me tell you about the things we do. In my community, we have Kids Days, a day where we close off all the roads and everywhere becomes a play area. Now, as a little kid, this is the most exciting thing. You can ride your bikes in the parking lots. You can make chalk drawings wherever you wanted. You can have a picnic in the driveway. Now, this is just one of the activities we do to come close as a community. Every fall, we have a retreat. It's a time for fun games and activities to come together as a community. Now, a few years ago, we had a very special activity. Everyone that wanted to participate would meet in the courtyard, and bottles of shaving cream were handed out to everyone. The goal of this activity is to cover everyone else in as much shaving cream as you can. It's almost like the Hunger Games, trying to spray all your friends with shaving cream while dodging their attempts at hitting you. Now, my friend Tommy and I have a little bit of a rivalry at this activity. So this year, I'm standing in the courtyard, bottle of shaving cream in one hand, trying to spot out my next victim. And as I run through the crowd, I'm spinning and ducking to avoid clusters of shaving cream. I see Emma and Avi spraying each other while simultaneously looking away to avoid the other's attack. I see Serena and Jara hugging each other, coated in shaving cream. A three-way battle between Zane, Elliot, and Lyons. I see Daniel sprinting after Isaac, while his bottle of shaving cream just barely doesn't shoot far enough to hit him. And then I see Tommy. My friend Noah and him are circling each other, preparing for an attack, when I see my opportunity. So I fill up one of my hands with shaving cream, I spread it over so both hands are full, then I sneak up behind Tommy and get him in the face with two hands full of shaving cream. The best part about the shaving cream fights is I not only get to cover all my friends in shaving cream, but many of the adults join in too. Can you imagine running up to your next door neighbor and giving them a surprise face full of shaving cream? Can you picture how they would react? Well, in my community, they would get you right back in their face with their own handful of shaving cream. Now, you can't make any mistakes in my community. My neighbor Gavin will tell you that. The day after Gavin got his license, he got into his car to go somewhere. So he starts the car, puts on his seatbelt, looks out the back window to start backing up. He steps on the gas and knocks over the 20-foot lamppost in front of him. Now, Gavin felt extremely sorry after his accident. However, he was still bombarded by people wanting to talk to him about it. My neighbors didn't want to tell Gavin how horrible of a driver he was or how stupid it was to crash just after you're getting your license. My neighbors approached Gavin to tell him embarrassing stories of themselves crashing their cars just after getting their license. So many people actually approached Gavin that he stopped wanting to go outside. He was overwhelmed by people wanting to tell him stories to make him feel better. Now, my neighborhood is not the only community I'm a part of. Hatfield is my home away from home. People in Hatfield have so much pride in their town. Their support for each other is unlike anywhere else I've ever been. Whether it's sports games, spring musicals, or concerts, it feels as though the entire town comes out to support their students. It is truly an indescribable feeling. A feeling similar to the togetherness of my neighborhood. All this talk of community brings up the question, what is community? Community is cooking meals for a neighbor fighting cancer. Community is wearing orange to support a classmate fighting cancer. Community is seeing almost all of Hatfield at the cage to support our basketball team. Community is shaving cream fights. Community is kids' days. Community is running a 5K race to support education. Community is a place where you feel a part of something bigger than yourself, something unique. But community exists only in one place, and that's in your heart. Community is inside of you, but it's not about you. It's about others' experiences with you, whether it's covering each other in shaving cream or cooking meals for a neighbor fighting cancer. Those experiences become your community. Hold on to those experiences. Community will pick you up when you're struggling and make you laugh when you're sad. Whether you live in an intentional community or just a small town, you are all a piece of your community. As for me, community has been the pillars of my life. It runs through my bones and fills my heart. Thank you.